Hi, my love. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to read you a chapter from my book, Fix That Shit. Now, when I'm doing book signings, I often have women come up to me and they say, I don't know if I need no more assholes or fix that shit because I'm in a relationship right now, but it's so rocky and I just don't know which way to turn. And I always ask them two questions. Is he a hardworking man? And does he make you laugh more than anybody else? Now, the reason being is because I want a little bit of insight into who he is, what his character is, and also how they connect on a soul level. So asking if he's hardworking gives me a little bit of insight into the work ethic that he has, because typically people with a strong work ethic are usually more willing to lean into the kind of work it takes to really create a strong relationship. In addition to that, I want to know, are they really connecting on a soul level? And so asking if this person makes them laugh more than anybody else gives me insight into how well they are really melding with each other, and tells me whether or not the fights that they're having, if it's just static, just an exterior noise that's, creating discord within the relationship. When she says yes to both of those questions, I say then you need to get a copy of Fix That Shit because you have the right foundation and you can build on top of that. So the chapter that I want to read to today is chapter 12, and its perspective is everything. So here we go. I used to say men were less emotional than women. Hey, don't judge me. Scientists used to say the world was flat. People make mistakes. I even had a theory that it helped them be good cavemen, seeing as it was more their job to go out and kill, and having a lower capacity for emotion helped them drive a spear through Bambi without the depth of remorse we women would suffer. Well, it turned out I was wrong, and I found out just in the nick of time. See, my blindness to just how deeply men feel was an Achilles heel in our relationship because I had no idea how much my actions affected my man. And it wasn't until we were on the virtual edge of a complete meltdown that I came across a study that dove into men's responses to 4 categories of emotion: blissful, funny, excited, and heartwarming. It turned out he was just better at hiding his emotions than I was, and my newfound insight saved the day and gave me the right response when I asked him to come home. Yes, we were fighting so much, we were sleeping under separate roofs. What's changed? He asked. And I said the words he was waiting to hear. I have much more respect for your feelings. I'm happy to hear that, baby, he said. I could tell from his tone that a huge weight had instantly lifted for him, and I was glad my insight could make him happy. I'd been wrong, but it's better to eventually get it right than stay wrong forever. The way you view what happens in your relationship is everything. And I mean everything. Unfortunately, we wear goggles most of the time and we can't help it. We have ego goggles, hurt goggles, pain goggles, past history goggles, and what our friends told us goggles, and of course the good old how I wish it was goggles. All these different goggles have their way of changing the world we see and deeply impact how we navigate relationships. Some are cloudy, some are prescription, but the wrong prescription. Some are cracked, some are just plain dirty. When it comes to love and maintaining a healthy relationship, all the goggles need to come off. Otherwise, we're trapped behind a lens, skewing our vision, and ultimately we're just stumbling around blindly trying to make good decisions. But you can't remove those goggles without embracing the 3 most important words you can exchange in a relationship. No, I'm not talking about I love you. I'm talking about the most healing words either you or your man can ever say to each other. I was wrong. Woo! Boy, I can feel you clench all the way over here. I know you've probably spent some time spinning circles around your reasoning, and I don't blame you. It's what our brains are constructed to do because being aware of how often we're off base can be damaging to our self-esteem, and we're finally 2 machines built to run efficiently. It's important that our brains maintain a certain illusion so we can boldly go forth into this world without being weighed down by a constant bombardment of negative self-judgment. Basically, what I'm saying is we're wrong more often than we think. Usually this doesn't interfere with our day-to-day lives because the majority of the things we're wrong about are minor and do little to interfere with our needs, goals, and desires. But when it comes to the daily dealings with our partners, sometimes the things we're wrong about drive a big wedge between us and could cause some pretty big issues. Not being aware of just how deep my man's feelings contributed to a lot more wrongs, all of which I was glossing over as I looked through my I know what's right goggles. But the reality was my wrongness was driving him farther and farther away. Being wrong is normal, and finding out you're wrong doesn't have to pose a challenge. See, that clench you felt when I proposed that maybe you weren't as right as you thought you were was just your ego. And while your brain is made to build and maintain your self-esteem so you have the strength and guts to tackle this world, your ego colludes with your brain to confirm the notion that, yeah, you got big balls. It's your ego that lights a flame under your emotions at the very notion that you're not sitting on the right side of a fight. It's your brain. It's like your brain is a castle and your ego is the guardsman. The thing is, your ego doesn't distinguish between what's happening in the real world, and it's the dumbest bouncer you will ever meet. Regardless of who shows up at the gate, from dignitaries to beggars, your ego is going to shove everyone back and tell them to F off. But you see, you need some of those people to get through the gates. Visiting royalty can enhance your empire, making you richer with their gifts of gold and expanding your dynasty by offering one of their princes up for marriage. And if you let that big dumb old bouncer run the door to your castle, he's going to turn the wrong people away, and you're going to end up sitting in your tower all by yourself, growing your Rapunzel hair in the hopes that one day someone will be able to circumvent the dumbass and finally make you happy. Fire that bouncer and replace him with someone smarter. You. How? Easy. Remember how you learned that sometimes the anxiety and fear that rises inside you is just your brain shooting off reactions for sometimes no good reason, and you can just let the moment pass without letting it cause drama for you? It's the same idea with that flash of rightness. And frankly, it's healthy to analyze what's going on when your ego sets off a fire inside you, because that inner heat lets you know something in your reality is colliding with your opinions. Acknowledging you're not always right is the first step to creating and maintaining a healthy relationship, and using your emotions to gauge what you should be looking deeper into is using your critical thinking cap to ensure you're not getting in your own way. It's funny because once I started analyzing my reality every time my ego flared up and stopped needing to be right all the time, we stopped fighting. And it was about 6 months into that process that I heard him say to someone, "She's fully renovated." And you know what? I'm proud of that moment. What he was saying was I'd stopped bulldozing over his feelings and started owning my faults, and he couldn't be more content. And frankly, I was happy too. I mean, think about it. There was no more discord in our relationship. No more fights simmering below the surface. No more words spinning in my brain looking for their escape path. My mind was free to delve into happiness and peace. You know, I did a lot of research in my quest for spiritual answers. And in my opinion, the Bible says it best. The truth will set you free. I have so much love for you guys, and I want nothing more than what I have, which is a magical relationship full of love, full of support, laughter, cuddles. I mean, we're making out every morning, guys. Come on, does it get any better than this? So come on this journey with me, wherever you are. If you're single, get no more assholes. If you're in a relationship, get fix that shit, and come join me here. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.